How's it, guys? Welcome back to Stretford Saffas. It's another preview time. It's the Europa League. Got Stretford Cherno to discuss the big preview. RZ Alkmaar. Cherno, the first thing I want to ask you, no away wins across all competitions since PSG last year, that magical night in Paris. It's a scary statistic, but I mean, are you confident that we can turn that around tomorrow or not?
I've tried the optimistic route, but in truth, I'm not confident. I don't know. Look, I mean, of course, it's easy to say, they're a small team from Holland, but they actually boast one of the best, if not the best, defensive record in Europe at the moment. Yes, they're facing quality opposition every week, but we've seen United struggle against Rochdale. We've seen United struggle against Astana, and those were both at home. So, I mean, obviously everyone wants the 3 points, but I think even a point would be a good result in this game. It's going to be a tough one, especially given our offensive difficulties lately, difficulty in breaking down the opposition. I mean, I don't really fear them from an offensive point of view, as in they're going to come and score loads of goals and beat us. But I really think we are going to have a lot of trouble breaking them down and scoring the goals needed. I just hope we can keep a clean sheet on our side.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think you've summed that up all pretty well. Offensively is where I'm worried about the lack of depth, the lack of ability to create chances. They've got a really good record this year, like you said. But I mean, listen, in the Europa League, if you win your home games, you pick up a couple draws away from home, you'll get through. So for me, if we were to get a point, not the end of the world, just don't go lose the game. But listen, I think it would be huge for confidence to go get an away win, because the longer it goes on, the more the press play on it, the more the players think about it, the more the manager gets under pressure. So with that in mind, what starting 11 would you go with? Strong or rest a few players?
Well, I'd love to see a little bit of youth, but I don't think you could necessarily say that isn't strong, because our more experienced players are fucking useless. But for me, my lineup, okay, well, as Ali said in the first game, this is Romero's game, this is his tournament, so Romero in goals. I'd like to see Diogo Dalot take up that right back berth, provided he's fully fit.
Yeah, he's travelled.
Yes, well, thank God. Centre back pairing, I'd like to see Axel there. I think he did really well as an auxiliary against Arsenal, but need him in his natural position. Truthfully, I do believe Rojo will play. However, if he is going to play, I'd prefer him at centre back to out wide. Therefore, Rojo next to Tuanzebe. And again, I'm asking maybe too much this, but I'd love to see Brandon Williams again. However, my fear is that playing one youth player gives, kind of mitigates the chances of playing another. And moving one step forward from the back line, I'd love to see James Garner given a chance in midfield. Assuming we'd be playing 4-2-3-1, I'd love to see Garner set up with Fred in the midfield. I think he's very cool, calm, collected. Definitely a more mature player than his age suggests. And I think he's and Fred...
everything that Matic isn't, basically.
Exactly. I think him and Fred, their skill sets are so different, but they could really complement each other superbly. And in a game like this, it's a good chance to really show his skills. Moving forward, the three behind the striker. Again, I think Daniel James is a player that's been playing a lot of football, and there's obviously that consideration towards resting him. But given the fact that the international break's coming up, I'd like to see James in his best position out wide on the left, with Angel Gomez through the middle in his best position, head of Mata, head of Lingard, head of anyone. Truthfully, I think he's really struggled in his last two games, but I do think Chong deserves another run on the right, not the left, the right. And then, needless to say, I think there's only one man to take that centre forward role, and it has to be Mason Greenwood. Martial out injured. Rashford.
I thought you were going to say Rashford.
Oh, no. Rashford at this point, I don't think he can hit a barn door with a bazooka. But let's hope the confidence returns for that young lad. But for me, it has to be Greenwood all the way. Just celebrated his 18th birthday. He's legal. He's ready to take some names. And I think to take by the horns.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that team. A lot of youth, some experience in there. I'm going to make two changes. I'd like to see. I just don't want to see Rojo play, so I don't want to see him at centre back. I think this is a chance for Lindelof to maybe get some confidence. European game, not as physical. Put him next to Tuanzebe. Keep Brandon Williams at left back. And the other change I'm going to make is I'm going to keep Garner because I think Garner deserves a chance. But I'm going to play Mata in the number 10. And I'm just going to shift. I'm going to shift Dan James to the right and put Angel on the left. I think Chong has struggled the last few games. I understand, give him another go for sure. But I think Mata's European experience, the pace is slow. I think he'll suit it better. But Chong struggled, so I would leave him on the bench. He can come on, play as an impact sub. But I mean, listen, just to discuss RZ Alkmaar, I mean, I was looking at their record. 8 games, they're 1 point behind PSV and Ajax, so they're playing good football. They've conceded 3 goals in 8 games. I think they've scored 17 or 18, so they're definitely on good form. Like you said, one of the best defensive records across Europe this season. And the biggest issue for me is going to be playing on AstroTurf pitch. I don't want to come in with excuses here, but, you know, they're decided to play on it week in, week out. It's definitely a completely different style of football, you know. It's much quicker. It's easier to intercept. It's not as much tackling. It's a bit more on the feet kind of surface. So, I don't know. That's obviously going to play into their hands. But listen, no excuses. I mean, what do you think they're going to cause us any problems or?
I mean, I feel like anyone can cause us problems nowadays. But again, I think it's a question of synergy. It's a question of connection. It's a question of the players all, you know, turning up on the day and just giving their all for the badge. I mean, At the end of the day, I'm not, as I said, too concerned defensively. Although, like you say, an AstroTurf pitch will complicate things. I just think it's very important that whoever starts from the midfield forward really, you know, brings some form of a balance, some form of a connection, and you know, we're going to create a few chances, be it 2, be it 5, be it 8, whatever it may be. Them. We need to take them. That's it.
Exactly. Listen, so it's your score prediction?
Score prediction for me, a very ugly 1-1.
Ugly one. Stretford Saffas not confident. I'm going to add one more goal for us. I'm going to go 2-1. Hopefully that away curse is broken. But yeah, guys, this has been the RZ Alkmaar vs Manchester United preview. Not a massive game, but it's a big game in the Europa League. Some youngsters going to get a chance. Hopefully we can get some winning momentum. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. Cherno, thanks for joining. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers.